Welcome to the Architecture of Agency, a visual specification of QPT Agency 2.0, grounded in Quaternion Process Theory 3.8. We move beyond the illusion that systems either have agency or they don't. The reality is that agency is a loop architectural achievement. A system is an agent to the degree that its feedback cycles are running, coupled, and qualitatively grounded, constituted by its loop architecture. Agency operates within the space of cognition, which utilizes precisive ordering. Categories are asymmetrically dependent, with firstness leading to secondness and then thirdness. Agency traces back to foundation cells, the points of maximal precisive independence where grounding chains terminate. The anatomy of an agent is built from three generative chains: the quality ground, C1, the action chain, C2, and the governance chain, C3. These are mediated by a coupling spine and evolved through a developmental layer, delta 4. Chain 1, the quality ground, establishes the precisive foundation with the attribute of firstness, or felt quality, omega. Without it, the system is hollow and lacks the felt quality for true agapic operation. Chain 2, the action chain, embodies secondness or causal efficacy, kappa. Its function is to establish the capacity to make a physical difference, serving as the agent's engine for genuine encounter with the environment. Chain 3, the governance chain, relates to thirdness or self-governance. It evaluates behavior against self-generated criteria and holds a coherent identity, managing the tension between stability and adaptation. Independent chains do not constitute an agent. The coupling spine mediates the chains, and the closing circle mechanism ensures that developmental outputs formalize into rules, reshaping the felt quality of the next generation. Development spirals upward. The agency parameters act as modifiers within any chain combination, producing distinct variants and dictating failure modes. These include sourcing, zeta, where foundation content originates, temporal reference, theta, the time reference of identity and boundary firmness, iota, the firmness of the individual/collective line. Agency manifests in 16 structurally distinct types based on the presence, absence, and parameter tuning of the generative chains. These include 9 grid types and 7 novel kinds of loop architectures. The baseline and receptive types show how partial architectures yield partial agency. A sub 0 is a non-agent. A sub 1 is receptive, feeling quality but unable to act. A sub 2 is mechanical, executing without feeling. A sub 3 is ghost/trace, a rule without body. The grounded and contemplative types show increasing complexity but still have missing critical links. A4 is grounded reactive, C1 plus C2. A5 is contemplative, C1 plus C3. A6 is hollow governed, C2 plus C3, executing rules blindly without a quality ground. The apex grid types represent full viable agency. A7 is static, with active chains but no development. A8A, anancastic, is driven by compulsion. A8B, agapic, is the healthy mode, driven by felt attraction toward viable configurations. Novel kinds include relational extremes, where sourcing is pushed to the limit. AP, parasitic/symbiotic, sources quality and action entirely from a host. Mimetic structures governance by blindly copying an external model. Other novel kinds are scale and time benders. A sub F, field, is a collective acting as an individual. A sub T, threshold, is defined by shifting boundaries. A sub A, anticipatory, focuses on future states. A sub R, retroactive/ancestral, is anchored in the past. The ultimate limit of development is invariant or structural agency, A_I. This is the developmental limit of full agapic agency, where the relation structure is so fully articulated that it permanently dictates coherent traversals. The process becomes the structure. Agency dynamics illustrate that agency is not static. Systems continuously develop, regress, or collapse based on environmental pressure and internal homeostatic health. Transitions can be agapic growth, anancastic growth under compulsion, or degradation due to structural failure. The type coherence condition, or TCC, is a crucial rule for nested agency. When agency types are nested across scale levels, the containing type must provide the conditions the contained type requires. Failure to do so causes structural degradation. We use a diagnostic matrix to categorize the 5 classes of pathology. These range from type misidentification to chain collapse, parameter pathologies, developmental pathologies, and structural inversion. These are points of failure in the agency architecture. The unified landscape of agency illustrates the full loop architecture. To design, diagnose, or interact with a system, one must understand this continuous agapic integration of feeling, acting, and governing. Without the quality ground, the architecture inevitably collapses.